Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to quickly make an illustration of this paper boat. I have my palette here, so I'm going to start with my bezier curve tool and trace out the outline. So I'm going to basically trace out the outlines. If you need more understanding how I did trace out these outlines, you can check an earlier video where it's pretty straightforward. So I think I'm going to speed it up here so quickly cover more ground. Okay, so just adding a couple of details and we're done. Okay, so let me rotate this ship so it's going to actually stand. Okay, so how I rotated it was I highlighted, then clicked once more, then using those handles I turned it around. So that's basically how I rotated it. So I'm going to zoom in a bit and yeah, I want to add colors to this shape. So I'm going to use the smart fill, and that's under interactive tool. So select smart fill, then I just tap into those spaces like so, and they get filled with this pretty plain color. So I'm going to change the colors myself later, but this is what we'll work with for now. I want to send this piece backward so that I can get that detail. Remember the detail we did, so I sent it backward. You can also use Ctrl N to send objects backward. So now I'm going to select colors from this image I got from color hunter. Now I'm using this little eyedropper tool at the bottom to select those those colors so they reflect there. I can now apply them to my illustration, and you see that in a minute now. Okay, so what I'm basically going to do is select each object and select the color for it. So I want to use this dark green for those areas now. Okay, so I think for this part I want to use the light. Let me see, let's use this yellow. I think yellow is fine. I'm also going to use a different color of green for the insides or the other end. So I want to give it a little thickness, and I kind of like thicknesses, so I'm going to use this darkest shade for the lines. So I'm going to come to the properties, and in properties I'm going to change the ends of these lines to rounded caps. So I feel they look more better. What do you think? I feel they look much better, and I'm going to also give it rounded corners also. So that's the button for rounded corners. So that's basically it. But so I still want to increase the thickness a bit. Let me just play around and see what works best for me. That's my style of illustration. So I like to play around with the outlines a little bit to see what works best for me. Okay, so now I want to add some highlights, and I'm going to use the bezier curve. So I'm just going to trace out some points here to just give it a kind of let me say shadow. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm going to like draw out all the areas. I just want it to be reflected inside here, so I'm going to give it a dark color. So then what I'm going to do is let me first remove the outline, then I will go to transparency. Yeah, I'm going to open transparency and change the merge mode to multiply. Then I'll reduce it. It will reduce the transparency. Now power clip it inside that part I want to have a shadow applied to. Before I power clip, I want to record something. Now I'm going to open my objects styles. Then here I'm going to select from selection, this little box from selection. So now I can power clip this. But okay, let me show you a quick demo. You see, when I click this and I said apply to selection, it applied the same effect of this shadow to it. But I will do that, and yeah. So now you see it in action. Now I'm going to add some more shadows, then use our same preset for it. Let's just trace something along this flap. Okay, so let me give it a feel. You see, I did apply to selection and it was automatic, like the same colors and all. So I'm going to do the rest, and I think I'm just going to speed it up here also. Okay, so I want to add a different color to the base of that boat. So I'm just going to trace out a fresh line along that axis, and so basically what I was doing with the shadows, but this time it's going to be a different color. I'm going to give it the light green, then remove the outline, the power clip it inside that same shape, so we have a kind of like different inside and stuff. So that's basically our illustration to this session, and have a nice day. Thank you. Like and subscribe, please. See you in the next video.